Last time, we discovered that my client forged evidence. This time, we're going to ask her why she forged said evidence. It's February, but it's actually June right now. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lena wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? Okay. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother Neil was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. It was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seems like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. When I came to, Lena was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. Oh yeah, she would have been like 14. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago, she must have been 14. That's understandable. Sad. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to mark an airtight case. That way, Lena would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall, so you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted the guilty verdict so badly. Lena forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true. even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. He didn't know, bro. It don't matter. After that case ended, Lena was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lena's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course, this happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lena was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lena was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lena used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her. Lena! Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence? I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lena! If you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lena, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have the right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believe in you, Lena. I believe that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lena. What the witness, Miss Starr, said? About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lena! I don't understand. Why would you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I knew she was protecting someone. I don't think I've ever seen Lena look so fazed before. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he went until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lena? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her, after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever! They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed! Emma really does idolize her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor? What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became the chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was involved in that incident. Just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes. His actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. The chief's office, is that here? I don't remember where anything is. We're gonna go here first. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we provided in court today that, on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lena look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lena. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today. Poor Edgeworth, bro. Yeah, with Lena admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. Ay. Fine, I'll go where you told me to. Police department, yeah. I feel like the blue badger has something to do with this. I don't know why. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall! I never thought things turned out the way they went this way when I woke up this morning. Kissera, you never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known by luck. Had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why did prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I need to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with a broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But, in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound of the victim's stain. The wound the victim has sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SO9 incident left behind. There's something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? They did something to him too. The commissioners would get suspicious. Nah, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lena Sky. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lena Sky. Gant is suspicious. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both their careers. After that case, Lena transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. Never found out. Lena's secret. It all started 2 years ago. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made a detective when it went down. It was our first case together. And our last. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors. I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SO9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. So there you have it. That's my story. You enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. No, he's just doing what he's told. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. It's so sad. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Aww. Adios, Bambina. That's so sweet. Oh, I can't get in here now. Let's try the prosecutor's office again. Nope. Let's try the detention center. Now let's go to the criminal affairs department. I feel like that's our best bet because he's turning himself in. Yep. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. I don't know how to voice Damon Gant. I'm just gonna talk like this. Thanks. Why actually talk to us? With chief... Oh, that guy. With the chief prosecutor saying she did what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth. Not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir? We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Whoa, baby, is that an organ? What is this insanity? Whoa, where am I? It's a museum. In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Batch. I thought I was a genius or something. I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading on in his desk. So, Rido, you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can't appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lena's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time has flown. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lena, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took to commemorate our work together. She looks so happy. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. She doesn't look very happy. I don't know. She already looks very serious. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go outside. Go out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. Seems the case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied a request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, are you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No, why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. We'll talk about Edgeworth. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lena Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, prosecutors are responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? Anyone else? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work! Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treat! Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yeah, sure. Yes, sir. Seems like you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. He's always concerned. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when I left the most incriminating evidence of all. He left. Well, what was it? Oh, well, let's see. I think it's something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident. An accident, yes. But it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. Jogger upon the scene, was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems like he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. Good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness. Emma. About this. Hey, is that? Has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, they suddenly appeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. What was it? Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. I feel like that's not how knives work. Would you actually break a knife when you stab someone with it? It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you will need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we can show him that would make him change his mind. I don't know, bro. I'm just gonna keep presenting things. I've been studying up on those files. Nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. I think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah. It's a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know? After all, a serial killer was on the loose. Elena was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. About that jar. I think I've seen it somewhere before. Somewhere? Or maybe it's just one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformed, imitative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? Guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the blood stain on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit he's right though. Thanks to Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award Mr. Edgewood got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony? Of course, pal. Got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? I think we had this conversation. Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Maybe I have to go somewhere. Not evidence. I can't even. You suck. Okay, you're useless. I don't like you, Lena. Alright, see if there's anyone in the prosecutor's office. Yep. Wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! Looks like he's writing something. My letter of resignation. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility, and the prosecutor in charge, as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come down to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I just realized I spoke in the Edgeworth voice for Phoenix. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seems strange about it. Let's talk about this first. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office that morning. In the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, that's the real murder weapon. Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes. It was a piece of evidence in the case that closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. That's right. Okay, let's present that photo. Honestly, the only thing I noticed is that Lena looks kind of miserable. This picture was hanging in the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Objection? What am I objecting? Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very description of these items discredits them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Objection! That's so funny. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken eye symbolize... Precise so, they symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow! Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, we had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant? Anything else? I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very stylish manner. Okay, any evidence? Alright, we're gonna keep presenting evidence until I get something. was the last big one. All right, let's go elsewhere. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Oh. Would you like some food? Would either you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef? Miss Star, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Still, never thought you'd be digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't be attributed to a mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? The instant Lena stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Star's hatred towards Lena. It all dates back to 2 years ago. It's being slow. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through the heck. Yeah? Hold on. I'm gonna just do a little saving of the process of the data. Just because it's getting a little slow, I'm not about to redo all this investigating. They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lena Sky. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lena and Chief Gant? That legendary pair was the reason they were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof of anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lena Scott transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lena always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Lena Sky was merely being used as a pawn. That's my... well, I missed it. She was being used? Alright, let's talk about the legendary duo. Damon Gann and Lena Sky. Gant led the investigation, was Lana's second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it as she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lena. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. But I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. It wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lena transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, did she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powers, influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lena was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lena? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for her change. At last, what if her sister was accused of murder? I don't know. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Can I present anything? I'll try. I want to present that photo. I don't have anything else to tell you. Miss Star, the only thing I can give you now is a poppy seed rice set. Talk about sheep. Eat this and maybe you'll be able to tell black from white in court tomorrow. Oh, hold on. I need to go to the criminal affairs department. Yep. How'd I know? Because I need to get in that office. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. Turn into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that's that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That officer's office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Hey, that's it. That's the king. Yeah, that's it. A dragon. You got a thing for shields, see? It's not exactly the version we heard. No, but this one sounds more exciting. Anyway, it gets kind of gory after that. I'll spare you the details. What else am I supposed to present? Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive the chief prosecutor to do this? Wait, I didn't mean it. Of course someone else did it. Someone who must have had a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Can I go anywhere else? Okay, she's not gonna cooperate. Okay. It's gotta be something. Let me just try the prosecutor's office one more time. Nope. Okay, there's something I'm missing. Finally getting to the bottom of all this. Calm yourself. You're okay. Alright, we gotta find something. We've already talked about everything. Try the knife one more time. That's the ID record, isn't it? Who's the 7? Well, maybe he knows the 7s. Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. At 4:20 p.m., the victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive office number. 77777. That's 1 7 too many, Detective. An executive officer. I just might have a hunch. What else am I supposed to... No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker. Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, Detective? The handprint of the real murderer's left hand without any fingerprints. If they come arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you? If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth. Have I presented everything yet? We've already talked about this. I can't believe Officer Marshall would do something like that. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self, Detective Gumtree talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? We'll keep trying things. Bruh, I don't understand. I don't know what. There's too much evidence. Maybe I'll just present my badge. Detective, here's my attorney's badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show the police badge. Enough said. This ID card belongs to the victim. You can do just about anything these days with a card and a screw, remember? Scary. It's only scary because you kept dropping your card. I think we already talked about this. Talked about that. What about the parking stud? Yeah, we already talked about this. We talked about this. What about the autopsy report? Nope. SL9? Come on, buddy. Let me in. There's so much evidence in here. That's the photo Miss Starr took. Anything you can tell us about it? That Miss Starr is quite the lady. We already talked about this. This is the last day of investigating. I'm going crazy. Did we talk about this already? Oh, we already did this. Hey, I just bought some of this stuff. Now I can go around detecting blood traces too. Wow. Is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. Add 3 inches to your base height. Base height? Lumental, new improved growth formula. This can't detect any blood traces? Well, it's not quite the same as luminol. So that's why the lady at the counter had that smirk on her face. Hey, that powder's used for detecting fingerprints. Yeah, Mr. Etcher gave it to us. He did what? All I have is some flour. Are you okay, detective? Quick, run! Ah! What? Oh, achoo. He sneezed with flour. Gotcha. Achoo. If it's any help, one time I took a nap on the bench with the wet paint. Why am I not comforted? Did we already... what else do we need to present? If things are meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here. A higher power? Maybe I shouldn't let Emma hold any evidence. Alright, I did my little investigating. Hold on. I have to... Those papers that I keep seeing, I need to actually, like... what's the word? Talk to somebody about it. Man, there's always like something super niche you have to do. It really just messes with you. Oh my goodness. You need to cooperate with me, game. We gotta finish investigating. So I can't present anything. However, apparently I have to examine the room. Oh, the paper he threw. Yeah. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him, I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's fallen to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl is doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? A letter of resignation? If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of that is your fault. I know the path I've walked, you don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. We're back to happiness. Can I show, I kind of want to show her too. I don't think she's going to look at it. Wow, she won't even look at that. That's crazy. If you have nothing left to say to me, what if you just leave? Because it's very deceiving. She'll just be like, you can't show me that here. Alright, let us in, buddy. What's this crumpled piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe you pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusts us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. I'm no secret. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Alright, buddy, old pal. Let's go. Let's go play the organ. Here goes, Mr. Right. Let's go. They're gonna see he went in here, aren't they? We're him! If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Ah! Duh! The girl's traumatized, Gumshoe. Be careful. Sorry. I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here... Hey, don't do that to my card. Can we investigate now? Hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lena. On the date 3 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir, it's entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time, I see. So ever since Lena left, no one's ever touched that desk. No one except Chief Gant, the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still 2 years ago have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think, nah. You wouldn't be, nah. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now then, let's look around a bit more. Hold on! Not so fast, buddy! Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. What's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? Yep. He's right, Mr. Wright. What do you think of him? Suspect. I'm eating another potato chip. Take a potato chip. Hey, eat it! Ugh. Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. I mean, look at him. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go. Ignore me again. It's a safe. Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay. If you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. I'm eating more potato chips because I'm hungry. You know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birthday? It's... Let me enter it. Have a better idea. Here goes nothing. That's what I thought. 777777777. Bingo! What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 7777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 777? That ID number? I think you're 1-7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say! Anyone care to look inside? Oh. I haven't even looked at anything like that. Any money in there? How much did you have stashed away? Look! It's the shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. It's a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw somebody wearing a shirt like that once. You think a chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh. Well, I was just thought. Isn't that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. Piece of cloth, a handprint. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove that they had something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Not to be their relevancy. How are these two items related? Come on. There's gotta be something you can show the detective. The vase. Hold on. There it is. Detective Gumshoe. Could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that bag together. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found. You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. It matches. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Not to leave them be for now. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove she can't was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. That's what I thought. Boom. There. Fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this! What is it? This is piece you just attached. It's different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Unstable jar updated. Get to talk more. I feel a lot better now that this jar is complete. But it only raises another question. What was a piece of doing in the chief's safe? More importantly, why wasn't there any money in there? Isn't that what safes are for anyway? I have a feeling the outcome of tomorrow's trial just might hinge on this. Alright, let's see if there's anything else to examine. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. What about what he was reading? This looks like a list of evidence. List of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? SL9 incident. Wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long? That's right, I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. The armor and the weapons. I don't think this matters. He can play. I don't think that's anything important. I think we already talked about the organ. I know, I should read all the dialogue, but I don't think if it don't matter, I'm not gonna waste my time. Found inside the drawer listed SL9 incident. Mr. Edgeworth had other half of the list. What would this list be doing here? Oh, I'm supposed to look at the evidence. Hold on. Let's look at anything else first. This was taken that day, 2 years ago. The day Joe Jark ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma. After receiving his award trophy, Mr. Marshall took a picture here. That went along with Chief Gant to question Dark. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few minutes later. Gee, you think? This was Lena's desk. I'm sure it's tidy. Lena's always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. Looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Has Lena ever come back here? No. Chief Gant must still keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They're the stuff legends are made of. Does he keep it in memory of her or in memory of the crime? These shelves are mostly empty. Lena must have cleaned them out when she transferred over to the prosecutor's office. A small picture frame on the left shelf. Hey! This is Lena and I went to that theme park. A window? Look at that giant window. Makes me want to crash through and jump inside. This is the 15th floor. I don't know. I was just saying. Saying what? Ever since being a detective, I've always dreamed about doing something like that. Jumping out. Not to self. Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window. When he gets fired. Don't say that. Okay, let's look at the evidence that we just got. Court record. Oh, do we have to talk about it? Hold on. Hold on. La 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 la. What's that? Let me eat my potato chips. That's what the chief was reading before, isn't it? No, when we first came in here. Look at the right side of the points were torn off. Mr. Edgeworth's list really was only half of the whole thing. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of the form, pal. The back? I wonder what this is. Looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I'd better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. What are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. This is crazy. Alright, I think that's everything I needed in here. Time to talk to Lena. Was there something for Lena? We just got this. Maybe let's talk to, hold on. Let's talk to Edgeworth, maybe. What? That's not the best evidence. Really? You are so feisty. Alright, Ay. Okay. I swear. Okay, so we need to take fingerprints of the thing, I guess. Help me out here, buddy. Detective Gumshoe. I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. You want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Wasn't mine. It's Google's. What are you doing? Why are you sticking your hand out like that? Go ahead. Take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, yeah. I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Shitty, where's your sense of humor? Let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Once they've been absorbed into prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get it over with. What? Why isn't it? Hey! Wait, it just exited. Okay, we'll try again. That was weird. Hey! Oh my gosh! Hold on. I figured out the problem. Okay, one more time, guys. One more time. I pressed the wrong button. Oh my goodness. This is insane. Uh-huh. All right. We need lots of fingerprint powder. It's been a while since I've done this. Yay! Give it my best shot. The kind of result won't get a matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like I will get a clear result from this print. Let's try a different finger then. Oh. There we go. That's being stubborn. Hold on. We get a better fingerprint, make you happy. Try that. There we go. I'm gonna phone them. They're different. Wait, what do we mean Radicluge? The one that happened right here in this room, she's right. You should check the fingerprints of everyone who was here that day. Well, I see there's a higher power at work here. You just gotta have faith. I don't think it's his. We can try though. This is very different. Why do we have to do this big dialogue thing every time? Just let me try again. Alright, what about Lena? No. What about... Oh my gosh. It's Emma's fingerprint. Why is it Emma's fingerprint? What's going on? Why? That's so confusing. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints were too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Psst. Hey, you over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here. You maybe should hold on to this. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. No, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he wouldn't have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Ah! Chief Gant. We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. So I was walking to my meeting. I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run into a pool. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir, sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? You're fired. Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Oh, gumshoe! Now get out. Yes, sir. Aw, gumshoe. We'll be on our way too then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But sir, I'm not a licensed... You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright? Bye! Bye, 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 bye. Look, pal, if I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Chief office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. We gotta show her sister. Right? After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job of mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Big-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. Because your sister stabbed him! She's the guilty one! I don't know. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? Do you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid is more like it. Oh, your boss. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you in silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? Take that! Well, Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. Take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respect him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was... me. I asked this because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but the other one, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me the proof that he falsified evidence in that case.
Take that!
I just found this in the safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? I'm scared. Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised, I cannot disobey the chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. So you did stab him. Although I can't tell you the details. I can say I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. Hold on. Sorry, I just want to take a little screenshot of this moment. This feels important. I don't know why it's not working. Where's my screenshots? Whatever. Wait. Oh my goodness. Please don't freeze up on me. I swear. Wait. What's going on? Hey. Hey, Steam. Hey, Steam. Okay, forget it. I tried. It's just freezing up. Let me try one more time. Okay. Well, we tried. Hopefully it worked. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. That's crazy! Wait, so she didn't actually kill him. She just needed to dispose of the body. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Mr. Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident? Serial killer Joe Dark's knife? I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? She stabbed a dead body. That's crazy! Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? Because it was evidence in another trial, you dummy. It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. Journalism! So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lena's innocence. Speaking of the phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seemed that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean not wanting the case to die? Oh, my screenshots are coming through. When you don't believe that my computer cannot, just does not function with these games. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. Look at my screenshots. That's funny. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lena, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial, there's only one way to drive off Lena's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. What went down in the chief's office 2 years ago? To be continued. Join me for the trial next time. Sorry that investigation took so long. It's the longest trial ever.